Hey everyone, this is John from johnloomer.com and John Loomer Digital on Facebook. Facebook Insights, a very powerful tool available to page managers. The thing is that there's just so much data there, and it's inconsistently updated that many page managers don't even utilize it. But if you know how to use it, you can actually it's so powerful you can determine the best time of day to post, the best day of the week to post, and what type of content you should be posting. So I encourage you to go beyond these few pages of information you have here and click on export data. Now what I could do right now is go through all of the details of working with this to determine when and what you should be posting, but I figured out that really ends up being kind of an Excel tutorial. So I'm going to assume that you know something about Excel, and instead what I'm going to do is just kind of point you to where you need to go to find the data that you need for this. So you really need both the page level data, which is just the general data associated with your page, and the post level data, which is the data on a post by post basis. So let's download both of these, and you can use whatever range you want. I use 2 months with mine. You can use a month if you wanted. So real quick, I mean, what I have here is kind of what I assembled after I downloaded the post level data. But this is what the post level data look like when you get it. Like I said, there's a ton of information, and this is just the key metrics when you're looking at the main page. But there's also lifetime talking about this, lifetime post stories by act, lifetime post consumers, lifetime post consumptions, negative feedback, and so this is all within the post level data. There's so much in there you can spend a whole weekend digging through. But even more, so if you go by the page level data, you can key metrics. I won't even go through every page of this, every tab. There are over 60 tabs of information on here. So essentially, whatever you need is available. And I mean, there's actually some data that I'm using for this analysis that I kind of created out of combining different columns. But for all I know, the data I'm looking for is actually there somewhere buried in all of this. It's just so much information. So for the purposes of this analysis, so if you want to find the best day of the week to post, what I would do, so you take this we'll just stay in the key metrics of your post level data, and you've got the date that was posted, lifetime total reach, and what I would then do is find out how many likes you had on that particular day, because the reach is affected so much by how many likes you have that you just can't look at it independently. And you can actually find that from looking at the page level data, and it's column H. So you just line them up. If you know how to use Excel, you do a VLOOKUP to determine how many likes you had on a specific day, and then I would take a percentage. So what I did, you also, as you can see here, buried in this, it's not just the date, it's the time, but you can also figure out the day if you just change the formatting of this. So what I did, so I took the date, found the day, and took the percentage of the total people reached over the total number of likes, and I came up with a specific reach. And so again, this is kind of my spreadsheet. You can do whatever you want. What I found was that my greatest reach was on Thursdays. I was actually somewhat surprised by that, and that's actually the second most posts I do on Thursdays as well. So that seems to be the day to do it. Wednesdays are pretty good. Mondays are pretty good. Weekends and Tuesday have not been good. That said, I haven't really posted much on weekends at all. So it's kind of difficult to determine what to do with that data. So determining time of day is really the same thing. Like I said, the posted has both the date and the time. There might be a way to extrapolate that automatically with formulas, but I just did it manually. And then what I did, since the exact time doesn't matter, it's more of a range. I assigned a range to each one. And what I determined was that, well, first of all, I post most often between 7 and 7:59 in the morning, and that's Mountain Time. And so it's a quarter of all of my posts are during that time. But really, what's most successful? Now, I had heard recently that posting later at night, and I'm going to experiment with this again tonight, is most successful because of it's a less busy time. But I can also see if you have an international audience, and I do have a somewhat international audience as well, that you can then hit that audience then later. So you combine that with the fact that and maybe when people log in for the first time in the morning, they'll catch yours too, because there's not a whole lot that piled up over the night if you post late. So it's tough to tell. I have only 4 posts combined between those two time ranges, but it's much higher than in everything else. It also seems that a very good time is posting at around noon or just after noon, and sometimes to avoid 3 to 4, and then this area right here in late, basically the early evening time. So post late, but there's kind of a point where you shouldn't do it. At least for me, this could be different for everybody. And also mid morning. So early is good, but then when you get mid, I think that's really what happens here. Is that's when everyone's posting, and you just get buried. So that's what I found with time. And then what I also want to do, and I think what I'll do is pull up my actual post here, and so you can read more about this on this post. It's the links below. But so what I did with what type of post, so we're talking about my own links, the links of others, or the guest posts that I share, that other people writing on my website, photos, videos, and status updates. So what I did here, it was consumption as opposed to reach. Consumption would be talking about this, plus the other activities that wouldn't be considered in talking about this, which would be clicking on anywhere within the post. So I'd be watching a video, viewing a photo, clicking on links. And what I found is photos by far more than anything else. We're talking about 4% versus the number of fans consumed the photo, as opposed, again, that's not a reach, that's actual interaction with it. And then everything else was closer to 1%, with really my links doing pretty well, and that's what I share most of. Now, the big caveat here is I only shared 3 photos, so who knows what we could take out of that, except that maybe I should try to share some more photos. So, once again, go back to this post for more details on how I came to these numbers. But I strongly encourage you to use Facebook Insights to help you determine when and what you should be posting, according to what I found. And again, you should not necessarily use my results to influence what you do. But I should definitely, and I post every day. So really saying Thursday's a great day doesn't change a whole lot for me. But I should definitely probably scale back the number of links of others I share, scale back the number of status updates, post more often late at night like I'm about to do, and focus more early morning and around right about noon. So that's what I found out of it, but I'd be really interested in knowing what you find with your insights as well. So for more on this tutorial,